I've been to about 4 training sessions this year. Let's talk about who I think are just absolutely smashing it on the track. So as you can tell from the last couple of weeks, I've started putting out more training, or not more training content, I've started putting out training content because I haven't been for the last 5 years. And like I said before, on Wednesdays I'm going out to training. I've made a thing with work where I take time off in the mornings, can get to training, I'll record some stuff for you about, what is it, usually 10 to 15 minutes of footage, just to show you the highlights of the training of that day. And let me tell you, it has been eye-opening going to see the boys train. Just the intensity that they're training with. They're doing that 3 times a week, so Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from like 9 a.m. or so. I'm just going to the Wednesday sessions, and I think, I can't attest to Mondays and Fridays, but Wednesdays starts off with a little bit of skill work, a little bit of body work, and then for the last, I don't know, half an hour or so, it's a bit of match sim. So that's been, you're getting sort of the best of both worlds. But in this video, I want to talk about a few players who have just surprised me and who I think are just going to have sort of good seasons because of what I'm sort of seeing. As always, all my opinion, I only go to 1 training session a week, so I'm sure there's other players that are smashing it, but these are the guys that are standing out to me. Hey, editing Luke here. I just want to say, because I forgot to mention it, that I'm sort of leaving out the big names that have done well in training, like Jordan De Goey, Nick Dacos, Darcy Cameron did really well, Scott Pendlebury's done well, Bo McCrae, all these guys that get talked about a lot. I'm trying to talk about the guys who haven't been talked about a lot, in my opinion. And I could have said Demetia, but I think I talked about him in another video about how bloody good he is. But yeah, enjoy the video. So let's start off with the most obvious one and just sort of get that out of the way. Finn McCrae is probably close to a lock for round 0, I think. And in saying that, I don't know who would come out for him, but from what I've been seeing, and it's just, he's just taken his game to another level already. I know it's preseason training. I know he's doing only match sim against the club and, against his mates and stuff like that at the club. But he looks like he's put on size. Looks like he's getting quicker as well. Ball on the string. That's all I've been seeing from Finn. Ball on the string. His skills look very sharp. He's in and under work. Crashing from pack, or not crashing from packs, into packs, and then, speeding out of packs. He is that inside mid that we've wanted for a while. I know we've got Tommy Mitchell in there as well, but now with Taylor Adams out, you'd think maybe Lachie Schulz sort of comes into that Taylor Adams role. But if they're looking for a proper inside mid, Finn McCrae is our guy. I think he has to be a lock. If not round 0, the first few rounds, he's just phenomenal. And there's not much more to say than phenomenal, because what I've just been seeing is just, he's taken his game to another level, and it's so good seeing it, because we've been crying out for Finn to play, and now seeing him, because you don't really see, you can see him through the VFL and stuff like that, but seeing him there on Wednesdays brings a smile to your face. So get really excited to see Finn really, really develop in the AFL system this year. Another guy that's really stood out to me is John Noble. Now, I think John Noble's really standing out to me, mainly because what happened in the grand, or not in the grand final, just in the final series itself. He wasn't picked, and Markov got selected over him. And that's credit to Markov. He absolutely smashed it that year and in the final series. But John Noble looks like he has a point to prove, a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. His defending has been great. His one-on-ones, his defensive spoils. He hasn't lost any of his speed, which is good to see. I can't really tell if he's put on any sort of muscle or anything like that. But his speed is great. His defensive skills are great. He was, the other day, who was he going up against? I think he was one-on-oneing against like Jamie Elliott or something like that, holding his sort of own, and you know how good Elliott is. But when they were doing match sim on Wednesdays, he's sort of that defender there, and he's just, not sort of no regard for his own sort of safety, and just flying in, punching the balls out and stuff like that. It's just everything that we've known Johnny Noble to be. He's just taken it to another level these last 4 weeks that I've been watching training. So is he a lot? Is he, how's Markov sort of going? What's sort of, going on around that sort of thing? I don't know if he's a lock for round 0, but he's definitely out to prove something. And maybe it's not just prove something to us, maybe it's to prove something to himself, that he is good enough for that level. He is good enough if we make another grand final or final series to go into that team. So I'd be very excited to see how, if he doesn't get selected in the first few rounds, how he sort of goes about it in the VFL. Because remember, we couldn't really see that because our VFL side didn't, go deep into finals, so he couldn't play and stuff like that. So I'd be very interested to see what his season looks like. But going off training, he's ticked every single box that you would want him to tick as a small defender. Third guy who's surprised me is Reef McKinnon. We've talked about how that sort of third tall position could be Ash Johnson or Reef McKinnon. And Ash Johnson, he's done everything right as well. But Reef, I think he surprised me because I didn't realize how tall he was. I think he's 194, 196 centimeters. So a really tall guy. He started off in the mids, like that's what he sort of wanted to be. And then, he started playing in the forward line. We've seen him against Geelong, was it round 1 last year, where I think he kicked 2 or 3 goals, if memory serves me correctly. But in training, he's training a lot with the forwards, that sort of lead up forward. I heard today that he kicked a bunch of goals in match sim, today being Friday, a bunch of goals in the match sim today. But from what I've seen, he can take a great overhead mark. He's got speed, he's got power, and it really is Ash Johnson or Reef McKinnon who is going to take that Dan McStay spot. And at the moment, it's hard because they're both training so well. But I think at the moment, I've got Reef just a little bit ahead of Ash. Even though I love Ash, love everything that he's done in training, I've got him a little bit ahead. But in saying that, Ash, I don't think has trained this week because he's had COVID. I think I saw someone say that. So, that sort of doesn't help. And then, I think it was last week or the week before, he hurt a bit of his back or his leg or something. So I haven't seen him train as much as I've seen Reef train. So I think that's why I've got Reef just a little bit above. And everyone's got big raps on him. Jeremy Howe, Isaac Quaynor said his name as well. So I dare say we'll see Reef sometime during the season and for a block of games, not just, one game comes out, doesn't play for another 7 weeks and then plays another game. I think we see him for a block of games left in the AFL squad, maybe as a substitute or something like that. 4 and 5 are a bit of a package deal. Bobby Hill, Lachie Schulz. I've said this before. Lachie Schulz, he's deceptively quick, deceptively strong. Bobby Hill has just gotten better. And, it's hard to believe that last season was his first, season with the Pies. And now he's got another preseason under his belt. He's got the Norm Smith behind him. And that duo of Bobby Hill and Lachie Schulz are going to be, obviously Jamie Elliott as well in there, but those two are going to create nightmares for opposing defenders. They've been working in tandem for the games for the training sessions that I've seen them, and it's just going to be, it's just really, really exciting. Bobby Hill, you saw that video in training where that I posted up, where he's dodged, I think it was, I think he did burn Noble after I've just given Noble some praise. I think he did burn Noble on that and then snapped that goal after a bit of fancy footwork. Bobby Hill's going to go to another level, and the AFL world is finally going to see how good Lachie Schulz is. I didn't know about Lachie Schulz until he wanted to come to the Pies, right? You see his highlights, you go, oh wow, he's actually plays really well for Fremantle. He's kicked 90 goals in the last 3 years. He's going to go to another level, a bigger stage. He's going to get the crowd right behind him. So those two working in tandem in the forward line, bellissimo. The last AFL listed player I will talk about is Joe Richards. I said Joe Richards in who I'd like to see take, what was the video? Who would I like to see take training to another level or something like that? I mentioned Joe Richards. I think that he is the next one up. I think he even might be a little bit higher than Harvey Harrison for me. I know Harrison debuted last season, but I think that if something happens to, touch wood, Bobby Hill or like a Jamie Elliott, any one of our sort of small forwards, I think Joe Richards is the next guy to step up. And I dare say we see a lot of Joe Richards, a lot of Harvey Harrison in the practice matches coming up against the Kangaroos and against Richmond. But Joe Richards is exciting. He's got a good goal sense, good goal sneak as well, and he's quick. The thing with Craig McRae's team is that everybody in this team is quick in their own right. And I think Joe Richards is that sort of smart, small forward, kind of like Bobby Hill. I'd love to see them work together. I don't think they will a lot. But Joe Richards is that next guy up. Some really good depth. I'd love to see him sort of debut against like a West Coast or a Kangaroos like we saw Harvey Harrison do. So I think I'm really excited about Joe Richards, and with another season under his belt, and he's going to be under Josh Frazier's tutelage as well in the VFL. He's definitely going to go the places that we need him to go. I'll just do a quick sort of SSP recap. I want to do a proper video of this in the next couple of days about who I think will be our picks for SSP. But some guys that really impressed me, and I'll keep it short because I want to do it into that video. Lachie Sullivan, as another inside mid from Footscray's captain. He's been incredible. Good size, everything you want in an inside mid. No regard for his own sort of health and safety when he's crashing into those packs, can find the ball when he needs to. Teakle's done really well as a forward. And thirdly, I think Bytel has done really well, but I'll talk about them in another video. But these are just my opinions on who I think have just smashed training in the last 4 weeks since I've been there. Let me know your thoughts down below if you're going to training or if you've seen footage or heard of anything. Let me know your thoughts down below. Who do you think has impressed you at training? But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shakers. I'll swoop you later.